Here at Mama Luz, our guests really come back for my mom's spaghetti seafood olio and our brick oven thin crust pizza. While at Nonna's, we introduce and serve Neapolitan-style pizza and fresh pastas. In both restaurants, our guests can expect the same kind of passion and love that my mom used to prepare dishes for her guests, as if she was still here with us today. Our family, we had this old house located in the corner of Tropical Palace and Tropical Avenue. We were trying to sell the house for over 5 years and nobody wanted to buy it. We were to convert it into a restaurant. That is one of the best decisions that my mom and my dad ever made, was to convert this into Mama Luz that it is today. For those who were fortunate to have met my mom's role in the restaurant was really in the kitchen. I can recall na I'd always request for my mom to make me her Pinoy spaghetti. And that is something that I truly miss until today. And I miss it so much that David created this pasta in Nonna's and named it after his mom.
So my wife has this joke na yung spirit ni mama napasa sa akin. I don't have a culinary background. I just had this passion for cooking. When I met Crystal, the daughter of Mama Lu, her family used to have this European restaurant, and that's where I got exposed to better cooking. We put up Nonna's because we love fresh pasta. There's something about fresh pasta that after you eat it, it doesn't only make you full, but it makes you feel good. One of the specialties here in Nonna's is our fresh pasta, and we have a fresh pasta called the Radiatore. Radiatore was inspired by the radiator. It would have these ridges where once you cook it and you marry it with a sauce, the Radiatore would absorb the sauce better. It's really good. So the pizza at Nonna's, it's a Neapolitan-style pizza. True pizza is when you finish one whole pie, you're not gonna feel bloated, you're not gonna get that full. You get the perfect Neapolitan pizza by having the right ingredients. So that's 00 flour, fresh yeast, olive oil. The cornichon is the thick portion at the end of the crust, and the leopards are the dark spots that you see at the end of the pizza dough. So the more the leopard that you get, the nicer the pizza will come out. When you go to Nonna's and you go to Mama Luz, dishes are different. You will experience the same quality you get in Mama Luz and the same quality you get with Nonna's. The same ingredients are also sourced out from Italy, and our secret ingredient, which is love. Nonna's means grandmother in Italian. Mama Luz is family, and we wanted to create a brand that would still promote family. There's no better person that will unite your family than your grandma.
I believe that if Mama was here today with us, she would be very proud of me and our family, because looking back, she would always be so kilig. Other people saying her name, Mama Lu.
Good evening, Southeast. We'd like to welcome you all to the third episode, the third part of South Talks Digital Just Got Real. I believe we have participants today who also joined us in the first two sessions. Thank you so much for joining us again. And to the first time attendees, welcome and thank you for being here. Before we introduce tonight's special guests, let's quickly introduce our team first. I am Eliza, one of the social managers in South Snippets, and Donna.
What? Okay. Hi. Hi, guys. So I'm Donna, and I'm one of the social media managers of South Snippets 2, 1/4. So it's great to have you tonight. And of course, really, really excited for everything that we're going to talk about with David and Crystal of Mama Luz and Nonna's. Yanni, go ahead.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I think ito yung if I'm not mistaken, pinakamadaming nag-sign up. So we're really, really excited to have you guys. Again, my name is Yanni and I'm one of the founder of South Students. And Aisha.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Savi. Thank you again for joining us tonight. So I'll be taking a back seat today, which is a nice thing, a nice change. And let me introduce to you our guests for tonight. I'm sure they're the ones that you attended this seminar for. Introducing Miss Crystal Sison. She's the managing director of Mama Lou's Group Holdings Incorporated. Hi, Crystal.
Hi. Hi, Aisha, Donna, and the whole South Snippets team and everybody that's here tonight with us.
Yes.
Great,
Hi,
thank you for
Crystal.
joining us. And we also have Mr. David Sison. He's the president of Mama Lou's Group Holdings Incorporated and the director of the Hotel and Restaurant Association of the Philippines.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this talk. Thank you for South Snippets for giving us the opportunity to be here. And we're very excited to share, about our business and for the business owners, for the first-time business owners, and all. I think most of our team members are also here. Thank you for watching. This is for you. And we're very excited to share. And okay.
Great. We're also excited to be listening to your talk. Before that, maybe Crystal can share a bit of the company's history. We showed the video earlier,
Yeah.
but maybe you could just, do a quick run through.
Okay. So, again, I'm Crystal, and I handle most of the operations of the business together with David, and we have a great team behind us, and they are one of the reasons as well how we are surviving this pandemic today. And so this year we're celebrating our 10 years. It's our 10th year, and we're very blessed, thankful to our partners, including South Snippets, that's been with us since the beginning. And and we look forward to many more years to be around. What else? Yeah. So we have 13 restaurants today. That's 10 Mama Lou's and 3 Nonnas all around Metro Manila, and 2 of them in Laguna. There.
Okay, so you mentioned that now you have 13 branches. How did you guys, or how did the pandemic affect those 13 branches that you have?
I will let David share.
By the way,
Share more.
Okay. It's I think I have to give credit to our team, the team from operations, the team. I mean, most of our team members, the family of Mama Lou's. It has greatly affected. I mean, when you look at all the industries that were affected with this pandemic, I mean, you would count hotels. Hotels were closed. Hotels, resorts. So there are like 5 industries: hotels, travel, tourism. So mga travel agencies, airlines was greatly affected. No flights in and out, and F&B. No, and F&B, kasama kami doon. Because we had to close during the ECQ, and I remember this was March 17th, and we closed. I think out of the 13 restaurants, we closed around 7 restaurants, and we planned and reopened because you see, Mama Lou's is a dine-in restaurant. I mean, for the past 10 years, 90%, I think 90 to 95% of our revenue comes from dine-in. I mean, we're an Italian restaurant, but our mission was to create meaningful connection to our guests, and we do that by providing impeccable service and serving the best food possible. And I mean, since we're part of that industry that had to close down, we had to pivot, no? So when we discussed with the team, we re-strategized, and luckily, I mean, we have a dedicated team, and we were actually one of the first restaurants to open. I think we opened around March 20. So even if we were closed, there were restaurants that we were actually open. I mean, shout out to the team that is here, so Joel, si Joy, si Marge, sila yung mga nakikita ko. But it's difficult because you have to pause, you have to take a breather. And so we'll share with you, I mean, the first thing that we did, no? Since closing down the restaurant, I mean, there was no option. We had to close down, but yung mga iba nagbukas, we started by, diba? Remember, during March, the hospitals were the frontliners, they were very overwhelmed. Hindi nila alam yung nangyari. So many people, magugulat ka na lang, when they got contracted with the virus, they don't survive it. Tapos you see frontliners here and there getting affected, getting infected. So our role at that time was to look at the opportunity, and one of it is we had excess inventory. Our suppliers had excess inventory because we don't know hanggang kailan to, no? So we created this project, no? It's called Project 5000. So we started with that. The project was the objective. The objective of the project was to provide food packs, food meals, and donate it to our frontliners. I'd like to share a screen. Saan namin ginawa yan? So we did that first. And then most of, we partnered with several, we got several partners. Okay, sorry.
Hi, I'm Krista.
Yeah, no, okay. So I'll share with you. Here's our website. I'm sharing with you our website. So it's We Love You 5000. So several frontliners, and I have to give credit to our team. I mean, they adapted to the situation since day one. One of our managers, Himaru, was the one who coordinated with several hospitals. So with the help of the frontline feeders as well, we got in touch with the medical directors, the doctors, and they were all very happy to see businesses. Hindi lang kami. I mean, there were several businesses that donated to these restaurants. So these are the hospitals. So we looked at several hospitals across Metro Manila, and the team in each restaurant. So let's say nasa Quezon City. So our branch in Quezon City was the one that provided that cooked the food, prepared the meals, delivered it. So that was the start. I think that was a good start, and that was our contribution to the society. Even if may mga restaurants kami na hindi bukas, we were still there to contribute to the frontliners. No? So that was the first one. And not only that, I mean, aside from the restaurants, we also donated to, remember during the ECQ, the checkpoints, they were very strict. I mean, you cannot pass if you're not part of the essential business. So we donated to these guys as well. I think they're the ones that were overlooked. So we saw that opportunity, and most of my team actually got to know them. So sila rin, I mean, because transportation, ang hirap eh. Ang hirap ng transportation, no means of transportation. But when they donated to these, to the checkpoint, I mean, to the IATF guys, to the police, to the military, nakilala nila. So nakakadaan na rin sila. So it was 2+1, and we started with that, and then of course, I mean, you have to be proactive. I mean, even if you're close in several restaurants, you have restaurants we had restaurants that continue to open, and how did we start? I think it's starting with because we don't know what we were dealing with. All we knew was okay, so practice social distancing, face mask, ano pa ba? So saan? So yeah, first I guess it's and you had to quickly pivot from being a dine-in restaurant to a full delivery. So uh, it's going back to adapting. We had to wear different hats, no, and quickly adapt to the situation. So now that we decided that we're going with delivery, we had to get the right people in place, no. So you would see our servers, yung mga waiters that had motorcycles, they pivoted to being delivery guys, no? So that at least pagtatawag yung mga customers and ordering food, nandyan sila to deliver, no? It wasn't easy. I mean, not everyone is determined to to do it. Is it was scary back then, and it is still scary now. So it's focusing on things that you can control, and what we can control is that our business is considered as an essential business where we can still do business even during this pandemic, and that's what we did. So having the right mindset, staying optimistic, focusing on the things that you can control, and partnering with the right channels, going with the right technologies for your business to survive the pandemic. Like what we did since Mama Lou started, since 2010. I mean, it's our 10th year anniversary. Since 2010, we never had a website. As in, not wala. We only relied on our Facebook page, and I'm a firm believer in social media. I never believe in the power of having a website. But because of this ECQ, I mean, we saw that this is what is needed, creating a website, and we're very blessed to have an excellent marketing team led by Patty to create I think so. This is our website. I mean, the team did an excellent job with this. I mean, it's we're lucky to have. We just got our domain, mamaluz.com, last year. We never utilized it until we saw the need. So most of the items, I mean, it actually contributed to at least around 20 to 30% of our revenue because of this. I mean, the website is one. So when we created this, I mean, it has to be very simple. We had to cut down our menu. I mean, before we used to have like 80, 90 items on the menu. But since it's all delivery and takeout, not everything will actually be up to par with the quality if you're delivering the item. I mean, we had fried foods like poutine. We actually removed the mozzarella sticks, but we added it back. And it's because not all the dishes that you enjoy in the restaurant can be consumed for delivery. You have to consider like two things. No? Does it travel well? That's number one. Number two, do you have a consistent supply of that product? Take note. I mean, during the pandemic, during the start of the ECQ, not everyone can travel, and that includes your supply. That includes our suppliers. So you have to be proactive in that sense. It's constant communication with your suppliers. What can you provide consistently, so that when we do this consistently, I mean, we can give it to our customers, and we're not perfect with that. It's we've had items on our menu that are not yet available. It's taken us some time. But again, having that mindset on what needs to be done would actually be beneficial for the business in the long term. And that I guess that's what we did. We looked at technological opportunities. The website is one. I mean, you are aware that South Snippets played a big part, a major role in helping us, filter out the messages and really, constantly engaging with our guests online. I mean, we've gotten 200 messages in a day. I mean, just filtering it out. Wala pa yung mga promos and this and that. But that's how, you had to quickly shift and still provide that experience from dine-in to e-commerce online, ordering on Facebook, ordering on the website. Remember Facebook? I remember what used to happen is, I mean, the customers will type in their orders, ito yung kukunin nila, and this and that. That is very, very time-consuming, very manual. So when we created that platform, so we have a platform on Facebook. It's called our body, or it's a Facebook messenger ordering system where you can actually order, filter out, choose the specific batch, choose the date and time, and the back end is very seamless for us. We don't need to filter out the messages anymore, and the order would be seamless. So it's providing that, looking at the experience that we've done when there was dine-in, and duplicating that online. So then, believe me, it's something else. It's a new opportunity. It's very possible to do. It's just having the right mindset that we can actually do it. So now that when everything goes back, I mean, we have built that habit, and we have that the database of our customers, so that we are actually more connected to them. Unlike before, that was all manual. Kailangan bumalik sila, or we have to get their phones and this and that. But now we're dealing with Facebook. Everyone has Facebook. The website, we have their email. So now, I mean, before this pandemic, our strategy was to embrace technology and really, cater to a wider reach. This pandemic, just made it happen. I mean, that strategy was actually done in I mean, the 6 months time. So here is our ordering system. Order ka ba? So you can just order, go to Facebook Messenger, order. You can choose delivery or pickup, and then it's very seamless. It's very easy. You can send your location. You can type your address. So I think one of the advantages is having that entrepreneurial mindset where you embrace innovation. It's not that expensive. I mean, it is time consuming, but it's not that expensive to do things like this. This is what you call a chatbot, no? So you can pick the branch, you can pick the category of food that so like here you selected the meals. So ordering here, this helped us be relevant at this time. I mean, there are so many strategies. I mean, but they just post on Viber. Viber communities became booming. Facebook groups started to rise. I have ordered this. Meron akong lasagna. Meron akong sushi bake. Nauso yung sushi bake tong pandemic, and so it's having the right platform, being with the right channel, so that you are able to systematize it. That even if you receive like 200 messages in a day, it's just pushing it. It's a lot of work. I'd like to think. I mean, the team that handles this, Marge, does an excellent job communicating. All the orders that all the orders that we receive. So yeah, I mean, parang you can call it a call center. I mean, may mga team kami na parang call center na sila. You ask my operations manager, si Joel. The managers took a role of not before kasi it's making sure that the dine-in is in control, diba? Now it's making sure that the orders are received and delivered in a timely manner. I mean, it's not simple, it's not easy, but I think this journey is something that everyone should, with this journey with my team. It's an experience, no? Where we constantly learn something new every day. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so just to do a quick recap of everything that you said, I'll try.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
you said like to pivot from being a dining restaurant into the new normal, you had to review your menu, like check what food items travel well, correct, and which ones you will have consistent supply of from from your suppliers, correct. And then look at technology. So you have Boti or the ordering system online. So Rodney, I think sent a chat message asking if the ordering system is on Facebook. Yes, it's a
Yeah,
chat
it's on.
app
Facebook
on Facebook.
Messenger. So what
Yeah.
we discovered as well was hindi mo kailangan ng Facebook account. So as long as you download the Messenger app, that's all you need. You don't need to be on Facebook, but just download the Messenger application and you can order.
Right. So these are for customers, no? They don't even need a Facebook account.
Yes.
Yes.
Of
And
course.
then you also
Oh,
Yeah.
pero wait, may na-discover kami nung pandemic. Nung we were getting a lot of messages with Mama Luz. So we would get messages from people, and then when we reply through our phones on mobile devices, hindi namin sila ma-replyan. So it turns out those were the people that Crystal mentioned a while ago. They didn't create a Facebook profile. What they just created were messenger accounts. So wala silang Facebook profile, so you can't reply to them on mobile. What you have to do would be reply to them through the desktop. So log on to your desktop and then reply via messenger through the desktop window browser. So there. So we learned something new. We learned something new.
Yes, during the pandemic. Okay, so just to help our business owners, David and Crystal, can you, like, we did the summary, but can you help us, like, just go through the process of everything that you had to think of when you pivoted? Like you said, check the menu, check suppliers, check the technology. What else did you have to think about?
I think, I mean, these are all technologies, but the most important is really, assessing first the team. I mean, I think our team, our team played a big role in really helping us survive here. And then it's because it's actually a risk for us to open, right? I mean, not all the restaurants were open during the ECQ. Now, I mean, most restaurants are open, but you would still see restaurants that are still not open. And I think a lot of it has to do with how, because we don't know, we have an idea. We got guidelines from the DPI, the IATF on how to, and the Department of Health, right, on how to, operate and prepare yourself during this pandemic, right? Practicing social distancing, constantly practice of making sure that you wear PPEs, face masks and all. Now face shield is a requirement, and but it's still scary. I mean, because you don't know if the one that you're dealing with is infected, right? It's like treating everyone as positive, diba? And we never had the necessary tests at that time, right? Until now, but. So I think it's communicating first with the team that how things should be done. So we started by creating a playbook, like a COVID-19 playbook, and sharing that with the team. So the team that would come to work, there would be practices, sanitation, hygiene is a must, and it's actually difficult to get that information like in this and really understand that. So again, I keep on saying it's having a positive mindset, being optimistic about it. Here's our playbook. We did this in May. So we can go through it. So So I guess what we realize is parang it's taking a breather. Tapos yung sinasabi nga nila, ang basic then is really washing your hands. No, I mean we're against a virus that the only we can defeat it by washing our hands, wearing face masks, and you have to build that habit. It's not a simple habit, right? Makakalimutan mo siya. So ano yung mga I have to give credit to the team that they really take the time to provide this to the rest of the team members. So we started by providing this guide so that even when we're operating, we're not adding to the problem. No? So that's a start. Now when dine-in, slowly came back. June 15, you have to communicate these things to your guests, no? And it's not easy. Diba? You would have guests that may not understand it. Kasi kailangan lagi may temperature check pag pumapasok sila.
Ngayon, health declaration.
So ngayon, health declaration. Yes, may health declaration pa. So it can be a hassle with the experience, but this is something that you have to do, and you should never. Yeah, we all have to do our part. Never compromise. Hindi pwedeng may lumusot. I was telling you guys this story earlier about Starbucks. Starbucks in Korea. And this is something new. I mean, Starbucks in Korea, and Korea actually flattened their curve. Medyo okay na sila. Then, slowly cases started rising again. Not like us, but Starbucks in Korea, and this is public news, recently had 27 positive cases in one Starbucks. So all the customers in that Starbucks had 27 positive cases. And that's because one positive person sat in the air condition. And apparently the place was not well ventilated. So there was one source of air condition. And out of the 27 people, and these are all customers, only 4 people did not contract that virus. And it was the 4 Starbucks employees because they were wearing their masks the whole time. So can you imagine that? I mean, we're not in that stage yet. But you see, now that dine-in is back, you really have to be, again, these are things that you may not be able to control, but what can you control? Wearing face masks and not compromising that, not taking the risk. So, and I mean, in a Starbucks, that was 27 people. I mean, that's a lot of people. I could imagine. I mean, so that's why we have guidelines where I think it's different. It's different. It depends on the LGUs, but each restaurant that is open that is accepting dine-ins, the people still the people cannot still has to practice social distancing. Your guest has to practice social distancing, and you're only limited to a certain percentage of the dining capacity. So we started with 30%. Now we're at 50%. So, but again, may mga 30% pa rin. So even I guess my point is it's really not wearing face masks or face shield for granted. Okay, ano pa? Packaging? Are we gonna talk? Yeah, packaging. Let's talk about. I mentioned that the food has to travel well, and I think that plays a lot. That adds to the experience. Is it about when the customers order food, especially if it's a hot food, you pack it. You have some sort of packaging, like for pizzas, we pack it in a corrugated box. It travels in our transport vessel, but we've had instances where, and we're learning, where the pizza, once it's prepared in the restaurant and it gets delivered to the customer, I mean, it turns out parang makalat na siya, diba? Of course, with the travel and I mean, it goes through motorcycle. So I think it's embracing. It start by really looking at how the food is packaged and making sure that it's packed well. That when it gets delivered to the customer, the experience is still the same. So, yeah, I mean, we're learning a lot of things with that. One opportunity that we had, so for the packaging, I mean, what we did was put traceability stickers. I think we'll show that in the video later. So traceability stickers it is very important because it gives the customer
A sense of who prepared their dish.
I mean, the customer would see, the guest would see who prepared the dish, when the food was ordered, what time the food was prepared. I don't know if there was time, maybe the date, what branch the food was prepared. And then it gives us, that information for us I mean, since we have 13 restaurants, it gives us that information for us to trace where we went wrong and correct that mistake. So traceability stickers is helping us a lot. I think it would help. I think it should be a standard to all the food the businesses out there, so that it gives you. I mean, it's not a sense of security, but yeah, I mean, you can easily track. The preparation of the item, who prepared it, when was it prepared? I mean, these things, no? So yeah, that also helped a lot. Ano pa ba? So I guess yun. Ikaw, yung
So that's packaging. That's packaging for your hot dishes, no? What about the frozen dishes? Like, can you tell us about transitioning from just serving hot food to having to serve deliver frozen dishes?
I think when you talk about pivoting, and I believe most of the big chains, restaurants did this as well. I mean, you would see Chicken Joy being available in the supermarket, and people talking about cooking Chicken Joy at home. And yung iba nakukuha nila, yung iba parang hindi masarap. I mean, it's an opportunity on its own. And most of our items, what we learned during this pandemic is that we can centralize the items that we prepare. It can be centralized in one commissary. We're blessed to have a commissary, and the practices that we do in the commissary is really, I'm very happy with the team that does our central kitchen. So we saw that opportunity to pivot to FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, and that's what. So you are now direct to the customer. I mean, the customer can enjoy the food anytime they want. They just have to reheat it. They just have to cook it. O yung iba nga, kahit malamig, they would eat it. I mean, it's a so when we dissected the menu offerings we had, and the items that are coming from our central kitchen, we saw that opportunity. I think Donna can share the website of our frozen home cooked meals that we are supplying from the commissary, that we can now provide directly to the customer, to the end user, and just provide them a guide on how to do it. I mean, and it's actually bringing the Mamalu's experience at home. And that is our vision. Our vision is to bring Filipino hospitality to everyone. And how can we provide that hospitality even at home? So we're selling. We're very excited with the future of this FMCG goods. We're gonna do it. This is a new brand that we put, the Mamalu's Fresh. It'll be available in several platforms. It's on our website. It will be available in Lazada soon. And I would love to show you a video on how, if this is our Lazada page. Now, this is our essential goods. So these are the items that we we actually provide in the restaurant. And now you can like the chili oil. The chili oil tastes good on literally everything. I mean, it's that good. So you can enjoy it at home as well. So we'll add more products in the now. The opportunity is even if you're based in Mindanao, you're based in Davao, you're based in Bicol, because Mama Luz is still only in Metro Manila and Laguna. But even if you're far away, we can actually reach you by ordering online. So we'll ship it out and we'll give that Mama Luz experience wherever you are. So background on here. Can you share your background on the seafood audio video?
So if you know, one of our most popular dishes and one of our best sellers is our spaghetti seafood olio. And now, kahit hindi ka magaling magluto, pag naka-order ka nito, you will be impressing your family with this very easy to prepare seafood olio ng Mama Luz. Right in the comment.
Now we'll be preparing our seafood olio. Now we'll be preparing our seafood olio. Now it's as simple as putting it again, boiling water.
So this is our frozen seafood. This is a frozen seafood that we actually deliver this to the restaurant. But if you want to have this at home, you just mix it with pasta, you cook it, add garlic, that's it. You'll have the same experience in the restaurant, even at home.
And let the liquid reduce until about 60%. Once your liquid is reduced enough, add your favorite pasta.
As you can see here. So you plate it just like you played it in the restaurant. I mean, it's that it's actually very, very, very tasty. It's actually, I mean, it can be a chef. I mean, at home, and you can do this with risotto as well. Nagutom ako bigla, teka. That's our website.
Nakagutom.
So soon you'll be able to order that.
So the idea here is we created several videos of the products that we are selling frozen, and this videos serve as a guide that even when you so the packaging has all these QR codes. When you click on that QR code, it's going to direct you to the video of the item that you purchased, and you just watch that video, and it's going to guide you how to do it at home. So it's that simple. Just click on the QR code, watch the video, and enjoy the food. I mean, that's Mama Luz at home for you.
That's awesome. If some of you were here were with us last week, we mentioned that one of the costs of a customer will be psychological cost and time, diba? But obviously what they're doing now is simplifying the process. So even if you have to do it at home, it's super simple, it's easy, anybody can do it, diba? So less na yung psychological cost, less yung pagod, and then less in time. Plus you don't have to go out, diba? Okay, so it's one thing to keep your branches open, but like you said, it's still kind of scary for people to go out and dine in. So obviously you guys did other things like come up with frozen dishes that people can take home or order from their homes, and then delivery. What other things did you guys do, like even in the short term, just to keep sales up? Because I guess it's a problem for a lot of businesses now. Like you can stay open, but most of them are really break even lang daw. That's what we hear. So how do you guys keep the sales up?
I think when you look at the restaurants or the industry as a whole, I mean, having doing break even is actually really good. I mean, you see restaurants bleed all. I mean, you see restaurants close, institutions close, and then we know a lot of restaurants that are not that are not. I mean, that are not as fortunate, and I think breaking even in this time now is actually a blessing. And then I think the name of the game is really surviving. I mean, because once you survive, and the brand would still be relevant, that is an opportunity in itself. Because when everything gets back to normal, we don't know when, right? But I think again,
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
just like to share that we get a lot of messages from guests that really sincerely thank us for being open, especially during those times where there were really a lot of establishments that were not able to serve, and I think that's where they find value in our business. Na talagang we're there for them during these times. Yun.
I'd love to share this message that we reposted on Instagram, where one of our customers, I'll share this. So one of our customers actually, sent us their that this was way back in April. That they mentioned that they've been eating in our Solinat branch back in 2018, since 2018, and they wanted to order for delivery, as you can see. So we provided the food, and they love the food. They mentioned that Solinat crew is the best. Great job, team, and. And they mentioned they finally got to order today. Kyle is actually in Manila, and we waited till both of us can order, since Mamalu's is something that they do together. And I thank extra to the Soledad crew for always accommodating us and for taking care of us through good food and service for the last 2 years. So it's having that, maintaining that longevity. Hope it reaches something so much. We're about to eat our orders together via Zoom call. I mean, you're right. We live for moments like this, and it's bringing that Mamalu's experience even if they're at home. So it's
Even when we're apart.
even
Yes, exactly.
With you, even when we're apart.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, one of the things we did as well was I think we're quite aggressive with promos. We since it was our 10th year anniversary, our marketing team did an amazing job creating the fantastic deals.
So we had a deal every week.
And
So-
that helped us, gain traction, be relevant. I mean, it's not. It actually generated sales, but it's. I mean, the point of that is really getting the word out there that this is something that you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
So we embrace those things. I think there has to be constant, communication with marketing.
Marketing has been very key.
Yeah.
It's been really a key driver for us during this time. I cannot emphasize it.
So
Okay, well, it's interesting that you guys mentioned promos. I think Donna is going to show it.
there.
Nasaan na? There.
Pro. Yeah, the fantastic deals is it's actually really
And whether it was during this, it's really for us. It's giving back to our guests. So it might be difficult because during the pandemic, na sales are down. We have several restaurants that are closed, but still we don't forget our guests. That is the main reason why we are here today. So this was something to give back naman to them.
See, I'd like to acknowledge Rodney. He was there when we started, and you had your product meetings there at your BF Place. So, I mean, in behalf of the whole Mamalu's family, Thank you, Rodney, for there. So, ayan, yung mga, I think, yun nga, promos is it's something that, regularly do as a way to give back. And, yun nga, I think at the end of the day, it's with this pandemic, and you mentioned that everyone's scared to go out, it's really communicating your practices to the customers, no? Being transparent with everything that you are doing. You know what's funny? I think we have a video here of how we prepare the arugula. The arugula, where there's a customer that thought that since it's for takeout, they thought that the arugula had air.
No, they thought that we actually blew air. So how our arugula, as you can see in the photo, is an inflamed plastic. Para lang it doesn't get squished. So as soon as we got the feedback, of course we were alarmed, and we wanted to share with that person and with all of the Mama Lou's followers how we actually pack our arugulas. So all of our pizzas at Mama Lou's, we serve it with alfalfa and arugula. And so we posted the video to show that exactly kung paano namin siya ginagawa. And so that was something that was also new, and something that we really intended to communicate to our guests how things were being done. Now that they weren't there physically in the restaurant dining in, we still wanted to show them about yung behind the scenes, to give them that sense of safety. Yung parang makikita nila kung paano pine-prepare, ganyan pala yan. So it makes them feel safer.
Anyway, so the staff didn't blow into the plastic bags. We really just had to show that.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So I'm glad you guys mentioned that, like, when we get complaints. So we're there with you. No, we receive the complaints actually, and then we forward them to you. Yeah. So yun nga, like, when you guys also do the promos, syempre merong operational challenges, and may mga customers that would complain. Can you tell us more about how you guys manage yung mga complaints na gano'n?
It's really hard. It's chaotic, and then at the end of the day, it's we're not perfect, right? We're people that is trying to build something, and we're all trying to achieve our vision. And in that aspect, we all make mistakes, and sometimes it gets very chaotic. When you're in the heat of moment where you create a promo, tapos ang daming mistakes na nangyari. But I think it's all about communication, and communicating with the customers, communicating with your team, and really, as Crystal mentioned, embracing all the challenges and learning from it, right?
Feedback. Embracing all the feedback.
Feedback is a gift.
Yes.
And that gift is something that you would treasure, because it you improve on it. And
in a lot of times it builds loyalty.
It does. We
hindi dapat matakot sa mga you would be scared if your guests or your customers are not giving you feedback, because then you wouldn't know how to improve. So we're always thankful to those people, whether they do it privately or they do it publicly. Yung feedback nila, sobrang thankful kami doon, because that's where we get to learn and to improve things. So yeah, that's how we handle it. We just face the music, and whatever they tell us, they have all the rights.
I think the three things, right, that would make the business a success relies on three factors. First is desirability. What products, or what does your business offer that would make the customers desire for that product? Can be a marketing, can be a new product that nobody else offers, can be the price the product offers. But when we do the BOGO, people desire for that. People wait in line for something because they believe that they this is something that they truly desire.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is profitability, to make sure that at the end of the day, this is a business, and the customers will pay the value of the product that you're selling because they see that value and you're willing to spend for that. And you can continue doing what you're doing because you remain to be profitable. And lastly is longevity. Now, without the first two, without being desirable and without being profitable, you cannot have longevity. And longevity, has three elements. It's having a customer base, imitability, and adaptability. And I think where in business, you have to embrace change. You have to learn how to adapt. And you have to adapt quick. Hindi yung huli ka na. I mean, adaptability means innovating and being or doing, creating strategies to be the first and be able to adapt as the trend goes. Because if you're gonna stay the same, mapapag-iwanan ka. So longevity is very important. I mean, I think we have we're blessed to have a good customer base. But for us to continue staying in the game, we have to learn how to adapt. I mean, we have to play the infinite game where we're not here to win now. We're here to continue playing the game. This is not a contest. We have the best Italian restaurant or we're the number one. These are results of what we're doing. I think the most important thing here is for us to continue to be in the game that we're in and to continue to play it, that even, the decisions that we make now will eventually outlive us. I mean, Mama Luz, when you look at Mama Luz is not here anymore. I mean, Mama Luz, the founder is not here anymore, but we are still here continue doing and then, and bringing the vision to life. And I think in every business, you have to make decisions that will outlive you. It's not a short-term decision. So it's really thinking long-term, 5 years down the line, where will we be? We see a lot of opportunity now for growth. I mean, kung pwede nga, one of our visions. I mean, sa ngayon, my vision is to build 100 restaurants by 2021. That's the vision. That's the goal. And to be out there already, everyone's closing down, but being in a position to expand, to scale, to see how, we take advantage of the situation so that when everything goes back to normal, we're there. And when people start to go out, we're there. I mean, right now we're limited to Metro Manila, but who knows? That's why we're in Lazada. I mean, to see, to bring familiarity to the market, to build our brand identity out there. And eventually when we scale and who knows when that will be, but maybe sooner more than later. I mean, we're prepared for everyone and, we realize our vision of bringing Filipino hospitality to everyone.
Very well said.
Yes, very well.
And we're done. Good night.
We can just leave the guys first, no? Yeah. But I think we have questions from some of our guests, and I think Donna has some questions too. So maybe we can start with that. And then for everybody else, if you guys have questions, just go ahead, turn your mic on, or if you're kind of shy, just type your questions into the chat, and then we'll read them out, and then we'll have David and Crystal answer.
Shout
Okay,
out!
Donna.
I'd like to make a shout out to the team and Patty, who heads our marketing.
Woohoo!
Patty, say hi.
Joel is here. Joy is here. Gail, Carlo Mendoza is here.
Say
Wow.
hi.
Ethan
Turn
is
on
here.
your videos. Turn on your videos,
Guys,
guys.
say hi.
Let's see your faces.
Yeah.
Kung sana nakaligo kayo. Okay.
Yeah,
Si Joy. Hi, Joy.
Yeah, yes.
Hi, everyone.
There, Patty.
Late night na eh.
Hi, Patty. Thank
Yes,
you.
so maybe I can start the asking my question, and then those participants, those Saudis who came here tonight, thank you very much. If you have questions, you can just type them in the chat box, or just like turn on your microphone later, not now. So it's my turn to it's my time to shine. So okay. So first, I hope this is okay to ask because this is quite personal. I hope na you won't get offended. Natutulog pa ba kayo? Okay. Now, seriously speaking, like the past few months, the past difficult months have been, yes, difficult, but we're really fortunate to have Mama Luz, the Mama Luz team, and the Nonna's team to be our partners, because sobrang dali nung pag-go through ng process and ng challenges. Like, yes, it's hard, but when you go through with the right people, when you go through it with the right people and with the right team, it gets easier, and you overcome it. So with that said, like my question is really this: with everything you've done and with everything that you plan to do during this pandemic, and maybe after, I would just really want to ask you guys, how do you support each other? Because most of the time we forget that stuff because we're so overwhelmed, and we think about, oh, we need to earn money, or oh, we have to open, or oh, we have to cook, diba? We don't have a chef here, or we don't have logistics here. So we get so caught up in the operations, in the scheme of things, that we forget that we have people with us who are there to support us. So just that's my question: how do you guys support each other? What kind of support do you get from your team members, and of course the management, vice versa?
You want to answer? I think one of our family values, one of our core values, is the core value of malasakit. And I think that is very important. That is one of the foundations of, I believe, the success of the business. It's having malasakit. So malasakit and empathy, it goes hand in hand. It can be the same, and it's really, having empathy, practicing empathy. It's this is a business, but when you value that, I think that is very important, because that's when we started. I think when I go back, how Crystal's mom is, when we started with the first restaurant, how she communicates to each employee, each team member, and how she treats them. Yung matutulungan niya yung lahat, yun may malasakit, no? And I think it's hard, when you start from a startup. I mean, we can still be considered as a startup, where we're very hands-on. Then you grow, and you have all these departments that would have the chain of commands, and making decisions. And I think one way or another, it can get lost in translation. Lost in translation. But at the end of the day, it's very important that to be with a team that understands your core values. I mean, that's why our team is a mighty team, right? Our core values: malasakit, integrity, grit, hospitality, teamwork, which is very important. No man is an island. You cannot be the star player. You have to be ready to build that team and be part of that team and be a leader. And lastly, having that entrepreneurial mindset where you embrace changes, be innovative, embrace technology, and embrace anything, and never. I think what limits each person's capacity to do things is fear. And yes, fear is what is out there. The pandemic has brought us fear, right? But being positive and being optimistic, because if you let that fear take over you. I mean, that's where you limit yourself already to the opportunities that is out there, and there's so many. I mean, diba? I mean, so I guess yung support nga, ano ba?
I think to add to that, in the beginning during the lockdown, especially during March, we made sure that we had Zoom meetings regularly to check up on each other. And since it was something new to all of us, not seeing and not be physically, together, I think keeping the communication lines open. I think was very key to making sure na tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ano namin.
I think when you have that yung communication na yun, it's all about being proactive, no? And it actually starts with yourself. Like in the case namin ni Crystal, I mean, we make it a point to like ngayon, exercise na ginagawa namin. I think that's what keeps us that's what keeps us going. You have to release those endorphins, exercise first thing in the morning, workout. So we have these habits that we constantly do to make sure that we remain positive, have that positive outlook, and it's really keeping ourselves fit. It's and I think now more than ever we have the time. We're at home most of the time, and how can you make sure that you remain fit, have the right mind, meditate. I think as much as possible, I try to meditate at least 20 minutes a day. Pray, continue praying, even if there's no church anymore. Try to hear mass on a Sunday. I mean, it's these normal things and normal habits that each individual must do to have that positive outlook even at this time. So yeah.
Right. And with that, you've also mentioned how you support each other. We have a question here from Dara. Hi guys, just wanted to ask, are Mama Luz and Nonna's both a family corporation? If yes, since one of the challenges of a family corporation is keeping a balance between being business partners and husband and wife, how do you ensure balance between these two?
Akala ko ako yung may personal question, si Dara pala.
Thanks, Dara, for your question. So for the first one, yes, we are a family corporation. And just an inside trivia. Mag-boyfriend pa lang kami ni David, we were already in business together.
So
yeah. And now that we are life partners and business partners, I would say it's not.
He's
kicking me under the table. Just kidding.
I mean, there are so many successful family corporations that I can mention, and then I think it's fine. It's really identifying each and everyone's role, no? Because the family, having a family corporation or being business partners, to avoid conflict. But I mean, it's not really avoiding conflict, but how you manage the conflict. What's important is really communication, no? Because it's regardless if you're a family corporation or a normal corporation or partners, barkada mo or friends mo, it's always identifying that this is the role that each one should play and agreeing to that. I've had so many healthy conversations with Crystal and one of our partners, my father-in-law, Crystal's dad, and it's healthy debates, but at the end of the day, I mean, you always go back to your vision, to the company vision and the company mission, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's always the basis where it's always, I believe that whatever discussions or whatever debates or whatever conflicts that
Arises.
yes, whatever conflicts that arises, it's always in the best interest of the company. And when you have that in mind, it's actually easy to decide on what decision should be done. So yeah, I mean, there's actually a study. I mean, may ano talaga on how to. I mean, family corporations kasi it's all about succession. So maybe we're not in that level.
Stage.
Yeah, we're not in that stage yet. But I guess succession is also a different conversation down the line. But now I think it's really whatever conflict that each team members of the company would have, or each business, you always go back to what is in the best interest of the company. And with that in mind, I think it's an easy. It would be an easy decision to make.
We have another question from Rodney. Less personal naman ito. How many commissaries do you have? And for how many branches? Sabi niya.
Just have one. And we're here right now. Nandito kami ngayon sa commissary namin, where we also have our office. Thank you for your questions. We're really enjoying this.
Oh.
Yeah. We have,
Anyone else who would like
we
to
have more
ask
questions. Yani, you have a question?
Oh yeah, ako. Maybe para makarelate din yung most of our attendees who are trying their chances sa online business. If your let's say your online business is successful, do you think it would transition magiging successful siya and put up your own physical store or brick and mortar? Well, it's a business question.
Yeah. Alam mo, I mean, I think you go back. Kasi if you mentioned that the business is already successful, then I think there's this big idea where I have a business that is actually successful now, and why should I put up a physical store? And but I'll just bring back the question why. Right? What is the purpose of putting up a physical store? If you have an online business that you think is successful, define that success, right? I mean, if so why put up a physical store? What would be the difference? If you have an online store where you deliver food, do you want to pivot, or do you want to diversify to something that would cater to a more dine-in market? If I think there are so many questions. There are so many factors that each business has to consider. I mean, case in point, sugar. I mean, the dream cake. I think you would see several restaurants or several stores now. Naging popular yung dream cake online, and I think they put up a physical store where in one of the malls, no. Les Sucre Lab. I think I don't know how Les Sucre Lab is doing now, but it was a very popular business. The people buy that dessert, and they put up a physical store. Is it strategically better to put up a physical store to cater to a bigger market? I think there are so many opportunities with e-commerce. There are so many opportunities online that I think you can, if your objective is to cater to a wider market, why can't you do that online? Or if you want to reach to, big, far cities, maybe it's going back to basics and going back to your product, and thinking what this pandemic has taught us is bigger restaurants are slowly shifting to smaller concepts, smaller footprint. Yeah. So it's really being careful. So I guess my point is, you have desirability. People order your product. You look at your profitability, because putting up a physical store is not that easy. You have to pay rent. You have to pay lots and lots of overhead. You have to build that physical store, and when you talk about longevity, I mean, at the end of the day, is it to increase market share? And increasing market share is increasing more customers catering to a wider range of market. So if you ask me, I think I guess it depends on the concept that you have. But what I see is most online stores actually deliver to orders. They're very aggressive online. They keep on posting and this and that. And it's not simple. And I guess the importance of that is a business plan. You really have to plan it. You can't just venture into something. Wow, I think this is gonna and just build your brand. So,
Right.
like what we're doing, we see the potential in e-commerce now. We see the potential in avenues like Lazada. And if we want Mamalus to be, to have our products be enjoyed by Filipinos abroad, I mean, how would we, what are the channels of emphasis do we go into? I mean, it's going to be too costly for us to build Mamalu's physical store out there. But maybe some of our products can actually be shipped abroad. I mean, yun lang. I mean, babalik ko lang. I think
What would be the purpose?
what you go back again? What is your purpose to build a physical store?
Right.
At this time, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well,
Alright.
follow-up question. Speaking of planning,
Yeah.
because of this pandemic, di ba? How far away should you look forward in terms of planning for your business? Kasi ngayon, very uncertain nga. But how far forward should you plan for your business?
I think it's always when you strategize, you always look forward for the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years. No? You always create from that, and slowly that plan is not only to expand but still make the existing restaurants relevant, right? And being proactive in it. I think for the rest of the restaurants that are in that are in malls now, restaurants that have a physical store. I think it's really being proactive and negotiating with the landlords to provide you with assistance for the next several years. So we're talking about surviving now, but we're talking about eventually growing more and eventually being the place of choice for the customers when everything else gets back, right? So I see opportunities where there are very excellent brands. There are so many excellent brands that need guidance on how to survive. And these brands maybe they don't see the potential of the brand. I would go back again with the 3 things that I mentioned, right? Desirability, profitability, and longevity. And longevity is always planning ahead. It's standard to have objectives of increasing, market share, revenue, and this and that. I mean, these are all business stuff, but that's not really important. I mean, not important in a sense that you have to live your values. It goes down that, right? You have to go to the finest detail in ensuring that we are doing our mission. We are practicing our values. We are teaching our values, and eventually,
The results would be.
the results will follow. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, like for us, I see the potential in cloud kitchens now. We've converted one of our restaurants to have like a Mamalu's and Nonna's in Alabang Hills. It's not.
Two concepts in one.
Yeah, it's 2 concepts in one restaurant. We're eventually having more concepts in one restaurant. And a lot of restaurants are doing that as well. But I think there's an opportunity. You see the rise in the third-party aggregators such as Grab and Foodpanda, where when you ask about if you have a business where why put up a physical store? You have Grab and Foodpanda. Join them, right? Although matagal sila kausap, pero my point is, you don't need that physical store. You just need to cater to a wider market. Because the market is there. Diba? So focus na lang on your brand. Focus on marketing your brand. How will you bring be the most desirable product. Diba? So, I mean, that's a lot of ano. I mean, we can go on and on. I mean, price can be a factor, quality can be a factor. I mean, so, but have, being desirable is something that you should, focus on.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, David.
Okay. So yes, maybe just a very quick last question. Last question, because I think this is very, very it's a very useful, siguro useful knowledge sa like everybody who's right here today or tonight. We've talked about moving forward, or like shifting and pivoting to the new normal and to the new ways of things. But let's admit there are old practices that would be still good to apply during these times. So if I would ask you guys, which old practices still work, or which old practices are you still applying in the current landscape?
Actually, now the dine-in is. I think like in our case, sa operations, it's really providing the memorable experience to the guests, right? Now, how can you do that when you have your servers? I think what this pandemic has done is to discourage, contact. So we have all these platforms on contactless payments, contactless ordering. So how now with dine-in back, how can you still provide that similar experience? And I think uh, our operation manager Joel does this extremely well, in really providing that experience to the guest, and checking back to the guest, and even with face mask. How can you smile? How can you show that you are smiling to the customer even behind that mask, right? It's not easy, no? But I think sincerity plays a lot of role in it. Na kahit naka-face mask ka, and when you smile, the eyes would show it, right? So it's training people that these small practices has a big impact to the customer, right? So it's that simple and it's that hard.
Thank you. And so I think we're done. We just want to ask you guys, before we let everybody go. We just want to ask you, David and Crystal, to give us your last words. Like if you have any tips or advice, last reminders or whatever, like takeaway or whatnot for those who are just starting out, or those who are struggling currently to make ends meet with their businesses. So I think that's just it, and we can say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
For me, just last few advice. I would always advise to continue learning about the business that you are in. Learn as much as you can about it. And especially today, we have a lot of resources, free resources online. And it's just about being resourceful and applying those to your business. We live in a day to day na ang daming information, and kailangan lang talaga to take time to learn, to
focus.
learn and focus. There. So that would be my last two words.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone that has spent time. I know it's late, and yung mga iba sa Mama Lou's team, I know galing pa sila sa work, and they took the time, to be here, and I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for South Snippets for this opportunity to share our story, and for the rest of the guys out here, for the rest of the people that are here with us. I mean, I guess I'm ulit ako about staying positive and being optimistic about it. And I think like what Crystal mentioned, you know may mga tao that think that big guys or big players have the resources to do it. I believe not. I think when we started, we were just very resourceful, right? I mean, you cannot have all the resources out there, but if you are resourceful, you would find a way. And I think that's really, the challenges of each startup. How can they be resourceful? But because of the information, we have so many Facebook groups that, provide all these things, provide all the packaging, branding or whatever, building a website or the chatbot or ano man. I mean, it is all out there. And once you see it, and going back again, focusing on it and, really building that, and having focus, I think, and it's going to be a very entrepreneurial society that we have here. And I think that is something that, we would embrace. I think we need more business people out there. We need more entrepreneurs. And I think now is the time, now more than ever, to really, embrace all these things. Just pay your right taxes. Anyways, may ganun, baka may BR yung yeah. So, yeah. Yun.
Right. Pay taxes.
So just, if you want to order Mama Lou's wherever you are, just, dial Mama. I'm sorry, dial Mama. Go to our website, mamaloos.com. Soon yung,
Alright.
but very, very soon, you can
Send us a message.
You can just dial Mama, just dial Mama. It's just 6262 Mama. You can dial Mama, and you can order Mama Lou's at home. I mean, that's very soon.
That's the next step, no?
One step, last number, yeah. But I mean, the website is mamaloos.com, nonnas.ph. It's
For those in Quezon City.
So,
and ano ba?
Tapos you go to our branches. We have in UP Town. You would see Ethan there. Saan pa ba? Novali, Feliz,
North Exchange.
In Makati, we have in Makati. Nonna is in Madison. Also in Novali,
Galleria.
Robinson's Galleria.
Yeah, 30th.
Follow us, 30th. Follow us on Lazada.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can order already,
Lazada, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, David and Crystal. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mama Lou's team. Thank you for attending, and all
you,
the
DLC.
Saudis who joined us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
everyone.
next week,
Southeast.